हेलो बच्चों, कैसे हो? आपका स्वागत है त्रिपान स्टडी सेंटर में। आज जो हम करने जा रहे हैं क्लास 10 एनआईएस बोर्ड का जो है सोशल साइंस यानी सामाजिक विज्ञान जो चैप्टर करेंगे आज हम 12वां चैप्टर, जिसमें हम करेंगे आज एग्रीकल्चर इन इंडिया यानी भारत में कृषि। जो ये काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण चैप्टर है हर एक क्लास के बच्चों के लिए, चाहे वो सीबीएसई में पढ़ते हो, चाहे एनआईएस बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, चाहे यूपी बिहार बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, इवन कि जो बच्चे कंपटीशन की तैयारी कर रहे हैं उनके लिए भी ये टॉपिक काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण रहेगा और कई मानने में हर जगह जो है अपना महत्व को ये रखेगा। लेकिन आपको पता है, चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक बात जो मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, जिसको आपको सोचना भी चाहिए, विचार भी करना चाहिए, इवन अमल भी करना चाहिए, वो ये है कि जब भी वीडियो देखिए पूरा देखिए, क्योंकि अधूरा जानकारी सदैव खतरनाक होता है। साथ में एक इंपॉर्टेंट बात ये भी रहता है, अगर आप पहली बार वीडियो देख रहे हो तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना, क्योंकि दोस्तों लाइक कीजिएगा तो बनाने वाले का मनोबल बढ़ता है, सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा तो इससे ये होता है कि जब भी मैं कोई वीडियो डालूंगा उसका नोटिफिकेशन आपको समय रहते मिल जाएगा। और देखिए, शेयर का मतलब ये होता है कि आपके थ्रू ना जाने किन बच्चों को हेल्प मिल जाए, ये आप भी नहीं जानोगे, इसलिए जो है आप शेयर जरूर करो, ठीक है। व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस पे भी लगाओ। दोस्तों एनआईएस सेंटर जो कई मानने में बहुत से बच्चों के लिए हेल्पफुल है, चाहे वो 8th क्लास हो, 9th 10th 11th 12th हो, चाहे वो एनआईएस बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, ठीक है, चाहे बीए एमए के बच्चे हो, सभी क्लासों के लिए कुछ ना कुछ जो है त्रिपान सेंटर में उपलब्ध है। तो इसलिए आपके लिए ज़रूरी है कि आप सब्सक्राइब करके इसको चैनल को जो है सेव कर लो, नहीं तो बाद में अगर रिसर्च करोगे तो शायद आपको ये चैनल प्राप्त ना हो। तो इसलिए सोचना नहीं, विचार नहीं करना है, सब्सक्राइब करके जो है अपने पास सेव करना है। दोस्तों ये तो बात था आपके लिए, लेकिन आप देखते हैं हमारा आज टॉपिक क्या है। द मेजर क्रॉप्स ऑफ इंडिया, आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, मेजर क्रॉप्स ऑफ इंडिया। इंडिया इज ग्रो ऑलमोस्ट ईच एंड एवरी क्रॉप्स। कैन यू थिंक्स व्हाई? दिस इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट हियर। द इंडिया इज ग्रो ऑलमोस्ट ईच एंड एवरी क्रॉप्स. If you consider the variety of crop grow from the Kashmir to Kanyakumari and western coastal of Gujarat to extremely northern eastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, there would be hundreds of crops. We group all these crops into the 4 broad types. Let us discuss their main crops under each types of detail. In this table, there is the most important here are types of crop meanings and major crops here. The food grain crops here, a crop that is used to human consumptions only there. A major crops here, rice, wheat, maize, maize, pulses and oilseed. There is a food grains here crops, but commercially crop is a crop which are the growing for sale, either raw material from a semi-processed form. But major crops here, cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco and oilseed. That's important. And the next year, third year, plantation crop. Plantation crop is which are the growings on plantations covering large estate. There is example tea, coffee, coconut and rubber. But the next year, fourth is a horticulture. Horticulture is a section of the agriculture which the fruits and vegetables are growing. There is a fruit and vegetable in this type. And come here, the main is a food grains on the detail. The next year, food grain. On the detail here, the first of all, rice. The food grains is the first year, rice is. Rice is the most important from crop of India. It is a predominantly as a kharif or summer crop. It's a cover about 1/3 of total cultivated area of country and provide a food to more than half of the Indian population. Maximum population of the India is of rice consumer. Do you know what types of geographical conditions are required for rice cultivations? This is an important question. If you look at the rice growing area of India, you should be find that this is the only crop in India which is growing in a variety of conditions and interesting below. Therefore, there are some of the geographical conditions are flowing here. The first of all here, a geographical condition is temperature. Temperature is the most important here. The rice is required to hot and humidity condition. The rice is required to hot and humidity condition. The temperature should be a fairly high, is 24 Celsius. Mean monthly temperature with the average temperature of 22 Celsius to 32 Celsius. There is a temperature is the main growing of the rice in this temperature. And the next year, rainfall. There is a rainfall is important. Rainfall is ranging between to the 150 to 300 centimeter is suitable for its grow in area of Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh, where rainfall is the less than 100 centimeter. Rice is cultivated with the help of irrigation. They're important. And the next year, soil. Rice is a grow in the a variety to soil condition, but deep clays and loamy soil provide their ideal condition. The rice is primarily is grow in the plain area. It is also grow below sea level at the Kutanad, Kerala. Hill terrace of the northern eastern part of India is the valley of Kashmir. The next year, labor. Labor is important. The rice cultivation is required to easily available cheap labor because most of the activities associated with there are labor oriented and are not very well situated from the mechanism. And the important here distribution. Rice grow in almost all the state of India. Rice is growing to almost all of the state of India. The main rice producing states are Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Assam and Maharashtra. It is also growing in Haryana and Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat and Kashmir Valley. This is the most important. Let's see the map, the detail of the rice on the map. On your screen, there is the most important map here of India rice production. India has rice production is a major area and other area is also here. There is the most important. The major area is Bihar, Bengal and Arunachal Pradesh and the maximum area on there. But is other area is a very less. But is the most important is a major area Bihar. And there's also is a Jharkhand and the all area is important here. The next year, wheat. The wheat is the second most important food crop of India, the next to be rice. It is a Rabi or winter crop. It is sown in the beginning of the winter and harvested in the beginning of summer. Normally in the northern India, the sowing of the wheat began to the month of October, November and harvesting is done in the month of the March, April. This is the staples of the food of millions of people, particularly in the northern and northwestern region of India. Unlike rice, wheat is growing mostly as a Rabi or winter crop. That's important. And let's see the detail. Some of the geographical conditions are flowing. This is important here. Geographical condition. First of all here, temperature. There is a temperature. It's a primary crop for a mid-latitude or grassland. It's a required cool climate. There is a cool climate is required on this crop. The ideal temperature here are between 10 Celsius to 15 Celsius means the less temperature at the time of sowing and 21 Celsius 26 Celsius 6 at the time of wrappings and harvesting. That's important. Geographic conditions on temperature. And next year, rainfall. Wheat travel well in an area receiving annual rainfall of about 75 centimeter. The rainfall is required here 75 centimeter annual rainfall, about 100 centimeter in the upper limit for a wheat cultivation. As you know, area is receiving more than 100 centimeter of rainfall are suitable for the rice cultivation. Like a rice, wheat can be also be growing by irrigation method is area where a rainfall is less than 75 centimeter. But on the other hand, the frost at the time of flowerings and hailstone at the time of wrappings can causing heavy damage to the wheat's crop. And the next year, soil. Although there is a wheat can be grown in a variety of soil, but well-drained is a fertile loamy and clammy loamy soil is the best situated from the wheat cultivations. Plant areas are very well situated from wheat production. And most of all here, labor. Wheat is a highly mechanized and require less labor. And the next year, distribution. The main regions of wheat production in India are UP, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, UP, Punjab and Haryana together produce more than 66% of the total wheat of the country. That's important. Punjab and Haryana together produce more than 66% of the total wheat of the country. That's the most important. Let's see the map. On your screen, there's the most important wheat production. You know that the major area here, Punjab and Haryana. Punjab, Haryana has 66% for all over India. There's 66%. That's important. The production of wheat here, 66% of Punjab and Haryana. And the less there is a 34% is the other side of India. That is important. The next year, mills. Mills are short duration warm weather crops, and these are correlates to grain crop and are used for both food and fodder. These are the Kharif crop, and these are sown in the May, August and the harvesting in October, November. Today, mills are mostly consumed by poor people as they are stable food. In India, a lot of mills is growing, and this is now by the various local name. The sum of there is a jowar, bajra, ragi, koras, cotton, khatki, haraka, bauti, raga, ira. This is the most important name as common here. In India, is jowar, bajra, and ragi are growing on the large area, but unfortunately, area is under this crop has a drastically reduced over the year. Some of the geographical conditions for growing this crop are flowing. There's important geographical condition here. The first of all here, temperature. Temperature crops here, these crops are there growing where temperature is high, which ranges between 27 Celsius to 32 Celsius. This is important temperature. And then rainfall, as I mentioned earlier, that mills are dry land crop. Therefore, the rainfall ranging from 50 to 100 centimeters is ideal for there is a cultivation. There is 50 to 100 centimeters ideal is a cultivation. And the next is soil. Soil mills are the less sensitive to soil deficiency, and there can be grow in there is inferior alluvial and loamy soil. That is important. And the next year, distribution. The distribution, jowar bajra is growing both in North and South India, whereas the ragi is generally concentrated in the South India. Jowar bajra is growing to the Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. Ragi is generally concentrated in the southern India. There is a Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. There is the most important distribution here. And the next year, pulses. The pulses is important here. It includes a number of crops which are mostly is a leguminous as provide the invaluable protein to be a vegetarian population of India. There is a vegetarian population of India. There is a protein of source of pulses here. As they have here, the source of protein is a comparison to be those who consume a meat and fish, and they also serve as a excellent forage and grain concentrate in the cattle feed. Apart from that, this is leguminous crops have the capacity to be fixed atmospheric nitrogen in the soil and are normally rotated with the other crops to be maintained and restore soil fertility. A large variety of pulses are found in India. There is an important large variety of pulses are found in India, and these are a gram, tur, arhar, the peasant pea as a red gram, urad, black grams, moong, green grams, masoor, lentil, and kulthi is a horse's gram, matar, peas, etc. But among this is above to mention it to the variety, only a gram and tur and the arhar are more important because they are important. Arhar is very important for here. The first of all here, gram. Gram is the most important of all the pulses. It is account for about 37% of the production and about 30% of the total area of pulses in India. It is a Rabi crop which is sown between to the September and November, and it is harvested between to the February and April. It is either cultivated as a single crop or mixed with the wheat, well, and seeds and mustard. That's important. Important also here a geographical condition. Some of geographical condition are flowing here. The important temperature. First of all, temperature. It is growing in the wide range of climatical condition. The mild, cool, and comfortably dry climate with the 20 Celsius to 25 Celsius temperature. But rainfall is very less here. 40 to 45 centimeter rainfall in the favorable for a gram cultivation. That's important rainfall here. And soil, it is growing well on the loamy soil is important. But distribution is here. See, now there is a gram is cultivated in a several part of country. However, 90% of the total production come from a 5 state only. There is a 90% come to the only 5 state. The name here, this state are the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana and Maharashtra. There is a 5 state, 90% is giving here on population. The next year, commercially crop. Commercially crop, there is an important. As I mentioned in the beginning of the lesson, commercial crop are those crops which are growing for a sale, either a raw material from, semi-proceed from. In this section, we will be learn more about the selected cash crop. Selected a cash crop here, sugar cane, cotton, jute. There is the most important crop here. But 2 is range, tea and coffee also. And 3 is oil seed, groundnut, mustard and rapeseed. That is important. But first of all, on your screen, there is a sugar cane. Sugar cane, you think life without sugar is your everyday life. There is sugar is the most important. Everyday life uses here. It is almost impossible to be think of life without a sugar. You know, sugar can belong to be a bamboo family of plants and it is a indigenous of India. It is a kharif crop. It is a kharif crop. It is the main source of sugar, gur and khandasari. Sugar, gur and khandasari. It also provides a raw material from to the manufacturing of alcohol. Baggage of the crust can it reduce has also the multiply uses. It is used for manufacturing of paper. It is also can efficient a substitute for the petroleum product and a host of other chemical product. A part of it is also used as a fodder. That's important. The important is most of geographical conditions for the growth of sugarcane are as following. That's important. The geographical condition here. First of all, here on screen, temperature. Temperature require hot and humidity climate with on average temperature of 21 Celsius to 27 Celsius. There is a most important ideal temperature on growth of sugarcane. And the rainfall is important. Rainfall is a 75 to 150 centimeter rainfall is available for a sugarcane cultivation. There is an ideal here also rainfall here 75 to 150. Irrigation is required in those areas where rainfall is less than is prescribed limited. And the next year, soil. Can be grown in a variety of soil. In fact, sugarcane can be tolerate any kind of soil that can be retain a moisture. But deep, rich, loamy soil is ideal for its growth. The soil should be rich in nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. But neither it should be too acidic nor alkaline. Flat plant and the level plateaus is an advantage for sugarcane cultivation because it is a facilitated irrigation and transportation of cane to be a sugar mills. Sugarcane cultivation require heavy manure and fertilizer because it is acute for the fertility of soil quickly and extensive. That is important. And the next year, labor. Labor is obtained cultivation and required cheap labor. Ample human hands are required at every stage: sowing, hoeing, weeding, irrigation, cutting, and carrying sugarcane to be factories. That's the labor is cheap. This is important here. The next year, distribution. The distribution is important here. India has the largest area under the sugarcane cultivation in the world and the second largest producer next to be Brazil. The India is the largest area under sugarcane cultivation in the world, but second largest producer is the next to be Brazil. As for a distribution of sugarcane cultivation in India is concerned, there are three districts, geographical region in a country. These regions are the Satluj Ganga plain from the Punjab to Bihar, containing 51% of the total area and 60% of country's total production. The important Satluj Ganga plain for Punjab to Bihar contains 51% of the total area of 60% of country as a total production. And this black soil belt from the Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu along the eastern slope of the Western Ghat. And coastal Andhra Pradesh and Krishna River is very important for the distribution of here sugarcane. But important here map of the next on your screen. On your screen, there is a most important map here. The India sugarcane production. You know that the major sugarcane part here, Bihar, there is some part, Uttar Pradesh is the most important, Punjab, Haryana, and other side. Other side is the Maharashtra also, and Kanyakumari is another side here. But Gujarat is here is only important. This is important sugarcane production in India is the maximum part here. The next year, cotton. Cotton is the most important fiber crops not only for India but also of the entire world. It not only provides a raw material from a cotton textile industry, but also its seed is used to the Banaspati oil industry. There is a cotton that is the most important. There is a cotton here use of the crop that is textile industry, but also is a Banaspati oil industry. The cotton seeds are also used as a part of the fodder for milch cattle for better milk production. Cotton is basically a kharif crop and growing in the tropical and subtropical area. That is important here. And the next year, some of the geographical conditions are flowing here. That important. First of all, here temperature. Cotton is a crop of tropical and subtropical area and require uniformly high temperature varying between 21 Celsius and 30 Celsius. There is an important and ideal temperature here. But rainfall, it is growing mostly in the area having at least 210 forest-free days in a year. There is a 210 forest-free days in a year's rainfall. It's a required modest amount of rainfall of 50 to 100 centimeter. And however, cotton is successfully growing with the help of irrigation in the area where is rainfall is less than 50 centimeter. And the high amount of rainfall is the beginning and the sunny and dry weather at the time of reaping are very useful for the good crops. And the next year, soil. Cotton cultivation is very closely related to the black soil and Deccans and the Malwa Plateau. However, it is also grow well is a alluvial soil for the Satluj Ganga plain, and red and laterite soil is a peninsular region. And also important here, labor. Labor as a picking of the cotton has not been made a mechanized till up now. Therefore, a lot of cheap and efficient labor is required at the time of picking. There is important mechanized till now there. And distribution here, India has the largest area under cultivation and third largest producer of cotton, next only for China and the USA. Within the country, 2/3 of the total area and production is shared by 4 states. The main states for the cotton production are Punjab, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Let's see map on the next on your screen. Here show the map. There is important India as a cotton production. You know that the Punjab side and the Rajasthan areas also occupy in cotton major is a part here. And there is a Maharashtra, Gujarat and some other parts of cotton production in India. That is important here. The next year, oil seeds. Oil seeds are important. It's one of the important group of commercially crop in India. In fact, India has the largest area of production of oil seed in the world. Oil extract from the oil seeds not only from an important item of our diet but also serve as a raw material for the manufacturing of hydrogenated oil, paint, varnish and soap and lubricant etc. There is oil seed is the most important for daily to life. Oil cake there is a reduce after the oil is extracted from the oil seed. From as important cattle feed and manure also the important here. And groundnut. Groundnut is the most important oil seed of India. Groundnut is growing both as a kharif and rabi crop, but 90 to 95% of the total area is devoted to be kharif crop. The groundnut is important. And let's see geographical condition. Here shows some of the geographical conditions are flowing here important. First of all, temperature. Temperature travels is best in the tropical climate and require 30 Celsius to 20 Celsius temperature is important. 20 to 30 Celsius temperature required for this groundnut is growing. And rainfall here 50 to 75 centimeter rainfall is favorable for a groundnut. And cultivations, this is important. 50 to 75 centimeter rainfall is favorable for groundnut and cultivation. It is a highly susceptible to be forest. It's prolonged drought and continuously rain and stagnant water, and therefore dry winter is needed at the time of reaping. That's important. The next is soil. There is a well drained, light, sandy, loamy, red, yellow, and black soil are well suited from the cultivation. That's important. The soil here, sandy, loamy, red, yellow, black. Soil is suited to the cultivation. And also is important a distribution. It is the most important oil seed of India and account for about half of the major oil seed produced in the country. India is the largest producer of groundnut in the world and account for about 1/3 of the world as the production. This is the most important. The India here is the world as accounted about there 1/3 of the world of the production. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat are three main producers of groundnut in India and account for about 60% of total production. Another 30% of the total production come from to the Maharashtra, Karnataka and Odisha. The important 60% is Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. The main important area of production of the groundnut. But 30% here are Maharashtra, Karnataka and Odisha. The next year, plantation crop. The plantation crop is important here. First of all, tea. India is famous for its tea garden. India is famous for its tea garden. You must have heard about the tea garden of Assam and Darjeeling in the West Bengal. Assam and Darjeeling, the ideal area of tea plantation. It's a began said that the tea plantation in India was started by the British in 1923 when wild tea plants were discovered by them in the hill and forest area of Assam. Tea is made from to the tender sprout the tea plant by drying them. At present, India is the leading tea producing country in the world. China and Sri Lanka were respectively second and third largest producer of tea, but India is the first country is a higher production of tea. And let's see the geographical condition. Some of the geographical conditions for the growth of tea are flowing here. First of all, temperature. The temperature is the most important variable here. It's require hot and wet climate. It's require hot and wet climate. The ideal temperature for the growth of tea versus and leaf varies is between 20 Celsius to 30 Celsius temperature. Its temperature either rises above 35 Celsius or go below to 10 Celsius. It would be harmful for the growth of tea versus and leaves. The next year, rainfall. The rainfall is important as the mentioned above the tea require a good amount of rainfall ranging between 150 to 300 centimeter, and the annual rainfall should be well distributed throughout the year. The long dry spell is harmful for a tea. The next year, soil. Tea bushes grow well is well drainage, deep, favorable, loamy soil. However, virgin forest soil rich in the humus and the iron content are considered to be the best soil for the tea plantation. And tea is a shade-loving plant and growing better when to plant it along with the shady trees. The next year, labor. Cheap and efficient labor is required for the tea production. There is important. Cheap and efficient labor is required for the tea production. But distribution here, Assam is the leading producer then account for more than 50% of tea production of India. Assam, there is a 50% of production of tea. And tea producing area of Assam are there hill slope and bordering of Brahmaputra and Surma Valley. West Bengal is the second largest producer of the tea, whereas tea is mostly growing in the district of Darjeeling, and Siliguri and Jaipurguri and Koch Bihar district. There is the most important tea production area. Tamil Nadu is the third largest producer, where is a tea growing area and the mostly districted to be Nilgiri Hill. That's important. Let's see on map on the screen to the next. On your screen, there's a most important map here. India tea production. India is a tea production. The major area is the Darjeeling. There most important Assam side. But some part of Kerala there is important shown on the screen. But the other area is the important for the Uttarakhand side. The next year, coffee. Coffee, do you know from where is the coffee was about to be India? It is the indigenous crop of Ethiopia. Is Ethiopia Assemblia plateaus. From the Ethiopia, it was taken to the Yemen in an 11th century. Yemen in an 11th century from the Arabia, there are seeds were brought to be a Baba Buddhans in the 17th century, and were rises to the Baba Buddhan hills of Karnataka. But it was the British planter who took a keen interest, and a large coffee estate were established in the hill of the Western Ghat. There is a coffee is important here. And the next year, geographical condition. Let's see. The sum of the geographical condition of the growth of coffees are flowing here. First of all, temperature. Temperature is varied about here. It is required hot and humid climate with the temperature varying between to the 15 Celsius and 28 Celsius. It is generally growing under shade trees. Therefore, a strong sunshine and the high temperature over 30 Celsius. And first, and there is snowfall, harmful for coffee cultivation. There is a snowfall, is a harmful coffee cultivation, and dry weather is necessary at the time. Wrapping of berries, that is important. Wrapping of berries, there is a necessary for the time. And the next year, rainfall. The rainfall between 150 to 250 centimeters is favorable for a coffee cultivation. There is important. 150 to 250 centimeters is favorable for a coffee cultivation. And the next year, soil. Well drained is a rich of variable loamy soil containing good deal of humus and mineral like iron and calcium are ideal for a coffee cultivation. The soil must be properly as manure to be turned there is a replenishing fertilizer and to increase some productivity. This is the most important here. Soil. The soil is a loamy soil. And the next year, labor. Labor like the tea coffee cultivation also require a plenty of cheap and skilled labor for a various purpose like a sowing, transplanting, pouringings, plungings, drying and gradings and packing of coffee. This is important is the labor. And distribution here, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu are main state of the coffee production in India. This is important.